One of Amberlynn Reid's complaints about the diet was that it was too high in sodium. Now, I am of course calling complete and absolute BS on that because it is not too high in sodium compared to what Amberlynn Reid normally eats every day. And we know what Amberlynn Reid eats because she has documented it for us multiple times. And even if you don't count the mukbangs, which I'm not going to, even though they probably are more like her typical eating than not, when she is even just showing us the food that she's eating when she's being good and counting her calories and her points, she's still eating a lot of super processed foods. And so this is actually something that Charlie Gold mentioned in her video, which will be the one that I link below, where she straight up calls Amberlynn a liar for this. And I think to a degree, Amberlynn, I'm going to be kind and say Amberlynn Reid was not lying about the sodium. She was lying about her fear of the sodium. It is a high in sodium diet if you follow it exactly the way that Amberlynn Reid chose to interpret her doctor's diet plan. Again, Amber filter. The problem with Amberlynn Reid saying that the high sodium content frightened her is that there's only maybe 600 more milligrams of sodium in her, or there would have only have been on the high end 600 milligrams more sodium in her diet every day than what she already gets. So I went through and I did the maths and I looked up all of the things that Amberlynn Reid showed us in her grocery haul because that's really all I can do. And she did show us these breakfast bars. I didn't count the breakfast bars. I hate protein bars and that kind of stuff. They're just candy bars. Just eat a candy bar if you're going to eat one of those anyway. It's going to be about as good for you. The eggs and bacon, I didn't count the sodium for the eggs. I think those are pretty high, but we also know that our girl likes to eat eggs, so this is not an uncommon food for her. We also know that she likes to eat bacon. Not an uncommon food for her. She almost always shows us eating breakfast and she's having a couple of eggs and a couple pieces of bacon, and she eats this pre-cooked bacon all the time. Now, I thought the pre-cooked bacon was definitely going to be higher in sodium. Pre-cooked bacon that ALR was eating was 320 milligrams per 3 pieces of sodium. The turkey bacon, if you eat 3 pieces of that turkey bacon, would have been 420 milligrams of sodium. Now the reason for that is, once I start thinking about it, the turkey bacon is processed. There's no part of the turkey where you get bacon because turkeys aren't pigs, but pigs, if you didn't know, that's where bacon comes from. Pigs have a belly. They got a belly. And that's where the bacon comes from. So there's not as much processing when it comes to bacon. You just kind of smoke it and cure it and eat it because it's delicious. Everyone loves bacon. If you don't love bacon, you're lying. Anyway, moving on from that. She was told to eat these frozen meals, and she was to stick with things like Lean Cuisine and Smart Ones and Healthy Choice and Eat Well, just the diet ones, which we should all know by now, diet food isn't really good for you. It's usually super processed and full of fillers to make it seem more satisfying when it's really not. So the meals that she chose, which again, this one struck me really weird. Now, she was supposed to do this diet plan for 2 weeks, and she showed us 4 meals, 4 frozen meals. And she said that that was going to be her lunch every day. Now, I don't know, maybe she bought multiples of each meal, and that's the deal. But she didn't show us multiples, she just showed us these 4. And even at that, if she bought 2 of each, there's still there's 5 days in a work week and there's 7 days in a whole week. So there's still 2 to 3 days that are not being accounted for as far as following her doctor's orders by eating a frozen meal every day. I'm just saying. Anyway, the meals that she showed us were this adobo chicken power bowl from Healthy Choice, which would have been 600 milligrams of sodium. The other ones that she showed was a Eating Well chicken and fingerling potatoes, which was at 640 milligrams of sodium, which, how? It's chicken and potatoes, like, how? The next one was Eating Well butter chicken masala, which came in at 610 milligrams of sodium. And the one that really surprised me was the Eating Well spicy Asian inspired chicken. It's got udon noodles in it. And this one was 730 milligrams of sodium. I mean, that's a lot of sodium, I'm sorry. So those were the 4 meals that she showed us. Now for dinner, she was told that she could have any meat and any veggies that she wanted. And this is another thing we'll come back to in just a second. And so she was showing us that the meats she had picked, one of them was Butterball turkey burgers, pre-made patties. They're 320 milligrams per patty. And the Simple Truth spinach Gruyere chicken sausage links, which are 330 milligrams of sodium per sausage. And we know from past experiences that she eats 2 of them at a go. So that's really like 660 milligrams of sodium. So when you factor all of that in, and you factor in at least 1 serving of the Jack's Links peppered jerky, which is 510 milligrams per ounce, which is a serving. When you put all of that together, and even if you pick the 600 milligram meal, which was the lowest sodium of all the frozen meals, even if you pick that, you're hitting somewhere around, I think it came to like 1,800 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day. That is a lot of sodium. I'm not joking with you. I would be surprised if that wasn't my entire sodium intake for a week. That's how little sodium I eat. And I don't even salt my food most of the time. So very low sodium diet for me. I don't think Amberlynn Reid was lying that her diet was high sodium, because clearly it is. But again, that's only 600 milligrams more than she normally eats anyway. So her saying that that was a concern for her is a lie, because clearly it's not. Because she eats like this normally. The calories clearly were a lie, because she didn't even count all of her calories for the day. And then on top of it, this is the other thing that I forgot to get to. She claims that her doctor told her that she couldn't eat vegetables, which is just straight up bold-faced lie, because the words meat and veggies came out of her mouth in that video. So yes, I think Charlie Gold is correct that Amberlynn Reid did lie about why she stopped doing her deadly diet, but it's not the exact reason. So I guess I'm just being pedantic. I'm sorry, Charlie Gold. But anyway, I am also going to attempt this incredibly deadly diet. I am going to follow in the footsteps of these 2 brave women who have taken their lives in their own hands by eating this incredibly restrictive, low-calorie, high-sodium diet. And I'm going to take a page from their books, and also, you know, it's not that restrictive of a diet. There's a lot of wiggle room here, and like Charlie Gold said, it's all about the choices you make as to like how high in sodium things are. Amberlynn Reid could have made choices that were lower in sodium. She could have picked lower sodium links. She could have chosen not to eat 2. She could have chosen lower sodium microwave meals. She could have chosen not to eat the jerky and eat, you know, the almonds. Almonds are incredibly low in sodium unless you get salted almonds, and then like, I guess it's kind of like a moot point, but I'm just watching the water come into my porch. Oh God. Anyway, so I will be adding eggs and probably turkey bacon, because I like turkey bacon, to my breakfasts. I will not be eating protein bars of any variety because I freaking hate protein and snack bars. I'd rather just have a Snickers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Not 2 bananas, a Snickers bar. Actually, I would rather have the bananas. Now that I really think about it, the bananas would taste better. And now for once, I'm craving a banana. Look at me, craving healthy food. So I will be eating bacon and eggs for breakfast. I will be I will be having frozen meals because I will be freezing them. But because I live on a budget, I don't have the money to buy a $4 to $6 frozen meal every day. That's just a lot of money. When that $4 to $6 could go towards making a full meal for myself and my partner. So this is gonna be like ALR Diet Challenge on a budget. So I think I will also be making a few videos of me pre-making my food just so you can see what to do if you're curious. So I'm going to look up recipes that match the 4 meals that she picked for her frozen meals, which, with the exception of adobo chicken, which I have never had, I like everything that she picked because I like eating Asian inspired foods. I actually know what udon noodles are. And butter chicken masala happens to be one of my partner's absolute favorite meals, though it's going to be tricky because we'll have to use low-fat butter, which I know will affect the flavor. We've just been with the GERD thing for like 2 weeks now, so we're still getting adjusted to it. So I will be making batches of these 4 frozen meals, so hopefully that will turn out nicely. And then for dinner, I already eat a meat and a vegetable, so nothing there will be changing for me, except I won't probably be eating rice with my meals because we're a rice eating family. We eat a lot of it, and I will just cut the rice out because that'll unfortunately already be in my lunches. I will not be doing jerky. Jerky is a high protein treat for myself, but because of the process that goes into making jerky and the salt content of jerky, it wreaks havoc on my digestive tract. So I have decided to go with, since we already know that I don't like Greek yogurt, I've decided to go with the cottage cheese. And there again, I might be sneaking in a few more carbs because I like to have my cottage cheese with fruit. So I will probably have either peaches or pineapples with it. Again, I will probably pre-make them because nothing's nicer than just reaching into the fridge, pulling a lid off of something and just starting to mow down on it. So yeah, I will be prepping all of my food for the coming week, and then we will see what happens. Will I die from this incredibly restrictive caloric diet? Will I pass out from high blood pressure because somehow there's a lot of salt in these? I will not be making these foods the way they are made. And I will be increasing my physical activity those 2 weeks. I already do nothing, let's be honest. But I do have a ballet studio in my apartment, and I do have kettlebells and yoga mats. Like, I have the ability to work out, I'm just lazy. So I will stop being lazy and I will get back to doing my ballet and doing my yoga, and that will hopefully, I will shoot for 20 minutes a day. And if I do more, then hooray. And if I do less, then I will find a way to stick that back in. And so that is my altered diet plan. I will weigh myself and take a before photo at the beginning of the 2 weeks, and then I will do the same 2 things at the end of the 2 weeks, and I will not measure or weigh myself during those 2 weeks. So if anything changes, I will be unaware of it and pleasantly surprised, hopefully, or nothing will change. I mean, there's entirely possible that absolutely nothing will change. I hope you guys stick around and enjoy the journey and the process that I'm about to embark upon. I hope you understand the life-threatening danger that I am putting myself in for your own amusement. And I hope you go check out Charlie Gould's Charlie Gould's YouTube channel, and also On Program Situations YouTube channel. Give them some love because they have done a fantastic job and they deserve it. And I will see you all in the next prep video. Be good to each other, and I'll see you then.